Good morning. Thank you for joining me today. Okay, today we are going to be in Numbers chapter 11, verse 24 through chapter 13, verse 33. I think. Yep, that's what we're doing. So Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord. He then gathered 70 men of the elders of the people and had them stand around the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to them. And he took some of the spirit that was on Moses and put it on the 70 elders. When the spirit rested on them, they prophesied, but did not do so again. But 2 men remained in the camp. One's name was Eldad, and the other's name was Medad. And the spirit rested on them. Now they were among those in the registration, but had not gone to the tabernacle. So they prophesied in the camp. And a young man ran and told Moses, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. Joshua son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his choice young men, said, My lord Moses, stop them. Moses said to him, Are you jealous for me? I wish that all the Lord's people were prophets, that the Lord would put his spirit on them. Then Moses returned to the camp, along with the elders of Israel. Now a wind went out from the Lord and brought quail from the sea, and let them fall near the camp, about a day's journey on this side, and about a day's journey on the other side, all around the camp, and about 3 feet high on the surface of the ground. And the people stayed up all that day, all that night, and all the next day, and gathered the quail. The one who gathered the least gathered 10 omers, and they spread them out for themselves all around the camp. But while the meat was still between their teeth, before they chewed it, the anger of the Lord burned against the people, and the Lord struck the people with a very great plague. So the name of that place was called Kibroth Hattaavah, because there they buried the people that craved different food. The people traveled from Kibroth Hattaavah to Hazeroth, and they stayed at Hazeroth. Then Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Cushite woman he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. They said, Has the Lord only spoken through Moses? Has he not also spoken through us? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very humble, more so than any man on the face of the earth. The Lord spoke immediately to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, The 3 of you come to the tent of meeting. So the 3 of them went. And the Lord came down in a pillar of cloud and stood at the entrance of the tent. He then called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forward. Then the Lord said, Hear now my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known to him in a vision. I will speak with him in a dream. My servant Moses is not like this. He is faithful in all my house. With him I will speak face to face, openly, and not in riddles, and he will see the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? The anger of the Lord burned against them, and he departed. When the cloud departed from above the tent, Miriam became leprous as snow. Then Aaron looked at Miriam, and she was leprous. So Aaron said to Moses, O my Lord, please do not hold this sin against us, in which we have acted foolishly and have sinned. Do not let her be like a baby born dead, whose flesh is half consumed when it comes out of its mother's womb. Then Moses cried to the Lord, Lord, heal her now, O God. The Lord said to Moses, If her father had only spit in her face, would she not have been disgraced for 7 days? Shut her out from the camp 7 days, and afterward she can be brought back in again. So Miriam was shut outside of the camp for 7 days, and the people did not journey on until Miriam was brought back in. After that the people moved from Hazeroth and camped in the wilderness of Paran. The Lord spoke to Moses, Send out men to investigate the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites. You are to send 1 man from each ancestral tribe, each one a leader among them. So Moses sent them from the wilderness of Paran at the command of the Lord. All of them were leaders of the Israelites. Now these were the names from the tribe of Reuben: Shammua, son of Zachar; from the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, son of Hori; from the tribe of Judah, Caleb, son of Jephunneh; from the tribe of Issachar, Igal, son of Joseph; from the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea, son of Nun; from the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, son of Raphu; from the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, son of Sodi; from the tribe of Joseph, namely the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi, son of Susi; from the tribe of Dan, Amiel, son of Gamali; from the tribe of Asher, Sether, son of Michael; from the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi, son of Vopshi; from the tribe of Gad, Gul, son of Maki; These are the names of the men whom Moses sent to investigate the land. And Moses gave Hoshea, son of Nun, the name Joshua. When Moses sent them to investigate the land of Canaan, he told them, "Go up through the Negev, and then go up into the hill country, and see what the land is like, and whether the people who live in it are strong or weak, few or many, and whether the land they live in is good or bad, and whether the cities they inhabit are like camps or fortified cities, and whether the land is rich or poor, and whether or not there are forests in it, and be brave, and bring back some of the fruit of the land." Now is the time of year for the first ripe grapes. So they went up and investigated the land from the wilderness of Zin to Rahab at the entrance of Hamath. When they went up through the Negev, they came to Hebron, where Ahiman, Shishai, and Talmai, descendants of Anak, were living. Now Hebron had been built 7 years before Zon in Egypt. Now, when they came to the valley of Eshcol, they cut down from there a branch with one cluster of grapes, as they carried it on a staff between 2 men, as well as some of the pomegranates and the figs. That place was called the Eshcol Valley, because of the cluster of grapes that the Israelites cut from there. They returned from investigating the land after 40 days. They came back to Moses and Aaron and to the whole community of the Israelites in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh. They reported to the whole community and showed the fruit of the land. They told Moses, "We went to the land where you sent us. It is indeed flowing with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. But the inhabitants are very strong, and the cities are fortified and very large. Moreover, we saw the descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites live in the land of the Negev, the Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites live in the hill country, and the Canaanites live by the sea and along the banks of the Jordan." Then Caleb silenced the people before Moses, saying, "Let us go up and occupy it, for we are well able to conquer it." But the men who had gone up with him said, "We are not able to go up against these people, because they are stronger than we are." Then they presented the Israelites with a discouraging report of the land they had investigated, saying, "The land that we passed through to investigate is the land that devours its inhabitants. All the people we saw there are of great stature. We even saw the Nephilim there. The descendants of Anak came from the Nephilim, and we seemed like grasshoppers, both to ourselves and to them." The first story we read in Numbers here, where the 70 elders assist Moses. In Numbers chapter 11, verse 16 through verse 30, you have, oh goodness, in verse 25, the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to them, that is, to Moses and the elders, and he took some of the Spirit that was on Moses and put it on the 70 elders. And when the Spirit rested on them, they prophesied, but did not do so again. This kind of reminds me of the Pentecost event that you have in Acts, where the Spirit comes down in flames of fire, in tongues of fire, and rests on the apostles and many others there, I think. But yeah, it's interesting. To me, it's just further, well, on the subject of polemics, it's just like those who say that the Trinity is a New Testament concept, and not even that it was invented 300 years later at the Council of Nicaea, I don't think have read the text properly here, and that even in the Old Testament you have a multi-personal God, because you have the Spirit here. So, okay. Yeah, let's carry on, I suppose. Mark chapter 14, verse 22 through verse 52. While they were eating, he took bread, and after giving thanks, he broke it. gave it to them, and said, "Take it, this is my body." And after taking the cup and giving thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank from it. He said to them, "This is my blood, the blood of the covenant, that is poured out for many. I tell you the truth. I will no longer drink of the fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new in the kingdom of God." After singing a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Then Jesus said to them, "You will all fall away, for it is written, 'I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered.' But after I am raised, I will go ahead of you into Galilee." Peter said to him, "Even if they all fall away, I will not." Jesus said to him, "I tell you the truth, today, this very night, before a rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times." But Peter insisted emphatically, "Even if I must die with you, I will never deny you." And all of them said the same thing. Then they went to a place called Gethsemane, and Jesus said to his disciples, "Sit here while I pray." He took Peter, James, and John with him, and became very troubled and distressed. He said to them, "My soul is deeply grieved, even to the point of death. Remain here and stay alert." Going a little farther, he threw himself to the ground, and prayed that if it were possible, the hour would pass from him. He said, "Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Take this cup away from me, yet not what I will, but what you will." Then he came and found them sleeping, and said to Peter, "Simon, are you sleeping? Couldn't you stay awake for 1 hour? Stay awake and pray that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." He went away again and prayed the same thing. When he came again, he found them sleeping. They could not keep their eyes open, and they did not know what to tell him. He came a 3rd time and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Enough of that. The hour is come. Look, the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Get up, let us go. Look, my betrayer is approaching." Right away, while Jesus was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived. With him came a crowd armed with swords and clubs, sent by the chief priests and experts in the law and elders. Now the betrayer had given them a sign, saying, "The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him and lead him away under guard." When Judas arrived, he went up to Jesus immediately and said, "Rabbi," and kissed him. And then they took hold of him and arrested him. One of the bystanders drew his sword and struck the high priest's slave, cutting off his ear. Jesus said to them, "Have you come with swords and clubs to arrest me like you would an outlaw? Day after day I was with you, teaching in the temple courts, yet you did not arrest me. But this has happened so that the scriptures would be fulfilled." Then all the disciples left him and fled. A young man was following him, wearing only a linen cloth. They tried to arrest him, but he ran off naked, leaving his linen cloth behind. So, I've heard stories that since this young man isn't mentioned in any other gospel, there's a non-zero chance that this is Mark himself who ran away naked here. But could be, could not be. And I think an important point here is that in Mark 14, verse 31, Peter insisted emphatically, "Even if I must die with you, I will never deny you." And all of them said the same thing. So it wasn't only Peter that insisted that he'd go with Jesus to the end, kind of thing. It was all the disciples. So, yeah. And then 14 verse 50, then all the disciples left him and fled. Pretty crazy. Yeah. And it looked like I can just see that there's still kind of this misconception flying around about the Messiah, that he's going to be this conquering king who establishes his reign via military force. Because one of the bystanders drew his sword and struck the high priest's slave, like trying to initiate an armed defense of the Messiah. But Jesus refused that. So, because that's not who he was. Psalm chapter 52, verses 1 through 9. This is for the choir director, a maskil of David, when Doeg the Edomite came and told Saul and said to him, David has come to the house of Ahimelech. So he is betraying David into Saul's hand. Why do you boast about your evil plans, O powerful man? God's loyal love protects me all day long. Your tongue carries out your destructive plans. It is as effective as a sharp razor, O deceiver. You love evil more than good, lies more than speaking the truth. Selah. You love to use all the words that destroy and the tongue that deceives. Yet God will make you a permanent heap of ruins. He will scoop you up and remove you from your home. He will uproot you from the land of the living. Selah. When the godly see this, they will be filled with awe and will mock the evildoer, saying, Look, here is the man who would not make God his protector. He trusted in his great wealth and was confident about his plans to destroy others. But I am like a flourishing olive tree in the house of God. I continually trust in God's loyal love. I will continually thank you. When you execute judgment, I will rely on you, for your loyal followers know you are good. Yeah. It's good to trust in God rather than the things of this world. And finally, Proverbs chapter 11, verses 1 through 3. The Lord abhors dishonest scales, but an accurate weight is his delight. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the crookedness of the unfaithful destroys them. And in case you don't know, abhor means to severely hate. So the Lord severely hates dishonest scales. Yeah, and I think this is probably where that truism comes. Pride comes before a fall in Proverbs 11:2. It's a shame that the second part of that hasn't made it into the culture, but with humility comes wisdom. So, and I think that's an important point. I think that there is this pretty severe pressure in our culture nowadays to never admit when one's wrong, and that any perceived weakness is any weakness that is perceived in your demeanor or anything is just reflects negatively on you. Like, I see this in politicians and in high efficiency bosses kind of things, but the Bible goes against that. With humility comes wisdom, and I think it's through our failures that we learn the most. So, regardless, thank you for joining me today. Hope you have a great day. Bye.